Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum. Today is lecture 4 and I will continue with this topic of cross-section area. So now if you have been given this figure in which we have taken cross-section along the length of the road and now you are interested in knowing what should be the volume between this point of the land. Now let's start from here. We have station I, that's 6300 feet, and it has a surface elevation 570.4 and the height is this grade elevation is 560. Now the difference between the surface elevation and the grade elevation gives you whether it is a cut or fill. Remember, the grade elevation means the elevation of the surrounding ground, or you can say this as in natural ground level. And then the surface level is this, and the grade elevation is the elevation of the finishing point, that is the elevation at the point of the pavement. So surface elevation is the natural ground level, and grade elevation is the formation level, or what we call the road level. Here at this point you can see this is a cut section because the surface elevation is 570.4. the peg is here and you have to go around say 8 feet to get the grade elevation. So this is grade elevation. We have a 3-level section. How? There are 3 values given. Cut 7.6, 31.4 feet to the left. Cut 7.6, this is the point C, and this is the right section 7.6, 31.4. Again, point H is a 3-level section, as you can see. Again, you can see the surface elevation is more than the grade elevation. Right? So this will change in the fill section. You will find out in this data. So again, 3-level section, formulas that have been shown to you in the previous lecture now will be applied. Now at point G, again, we call this as a fill section, cut section. Again, here we will use that 3-level formula. Then at point E, this is what we called the part cut and part fill section. 2.6, 23.9, then there is no elevation at center point, as you can see, 0, and then 5, fill 5.2. And now gradually you can see that this value, the grade elevation, is become higher than the surface elevation. That's what we call fill selection. So if your grade elevation is lower than the surface elevation, this is a cut section again. And then if your fill section grade elevation is more than your surface elevation, this is a fill section. Now this is a 5-level section and this is a multi-level section, more than 5. So now we'll use the technique. As I explained to you in the previous class as well, now more in detail and more conceptually, inshallah, I feel that any ambiguity left in lecture 3 will now be removed in this lecture. So we have a base width B as 40 feet. There is, when we take in fill section, this cut will take B as 40, fill will take B as 30. There is a side slope S 1.5:1 and the gradient is 1.2%. Gradient means the slope is increasing at the rate of 1.2%. along the height. So now this I call the level section. This I call 3-level section, triangular section, 5-level section, and the other sections. You can always ignore, even though that was 3-level section, if you look at these values, but still you can say why this is a level section, because you see all the heights are equal, 7.6, 7.6, 7.6. So no need of using 3-level section formula, because it won't make any difference. You see this D is also different, same left and right. So here we call this as a level section because all the heights are equal. This is not a level section. You see, neither the distances nor the heights are equal. So that's why we call 3-level section. So is this. Okay. This is 3-level sections. This is a triangular section. This is and this is the other sections. Now, for the first thing, we have this value at station 63, 7.6, 31.4, 7.6, and this is point I. Volume is very easy. A is C times D plus W by 2. And C, W plus CS. W is the width. So that is, C is the value of the cut, 7.6. Okay. And what is D? D is the distance. This is 31.4 feet. This is 31.4 feet. And then W, small w, that is the width, and this is a cut section. That's why I take 40 feet, because if the data says for cut section, take B is equal to 40. For fill section, we take W is 30. So either you call it B or W, it doesn't make the difference, because this is a problem taken from some other book. That's why you can see whatever formulation we have learned is slightly different, but again, the concept is same. So small c, 7.6, D is the distance, 31.4, 40, and W is the width in cut, that is 40 feet divided by 2. So either you can use this formula or this formula, it doesn't make any difference. Okay, so this becomes area. Again, for using different technique, area is C 7.6, W, and 1.5 is the side slope that is given. See, side slope that is given to here. This is 1.5, this is S actually, right? Now, this is a 3-level section. You can use this formula, HL, HR. So width, again, this is cut, this is 40. 4 is in the formulation. HL, height to the left. Height to the left is 7. HR, height to the right. Height of the right is 6.4. That's why HL is 7, HR is 6.6. C3, again, this is the center height. This is 6.8 divided by 2. Left, D to the left is 30.5. D to the right is 29.6. That's why DL plus DR 30.5. This is 33, 38.4. This is a 3-level section, as you can see. Now, the same goes with this thing at point H, 7, HL 7, HR 6.4, and then width is again the cut section 40, 40.4, 30.5, 29.6, and you get this value. This is 5-level section. The 5-level section, you will use this formula. You can use either this formula or that formula. That's, I think, it doesn't make any difference. So C is the center, this is 5.8, that's why. W is the width. Now the width, we said we were given the width at the for the fill section is 30. That's why now this W becomes 30. HL. Now I said we will use this height and this depth. Sorry, this height and this distance. So 6.9 and 23.9. Similarly, 6.7 and 27.3. You will get this area again. This is HL. This is HR. No, this is HL. This is HR. This is DL and this is DR. That's why just plug in this value and you will get this answer. Just it's very simple. I hope I'm not going very fast. It's just a formulation. Anyhow, you can, if you have problems, you can ask me during the live session. Now for this is very simple. You will use 1/4 WH. So for the left section, this become W is 40 because this is in cut. Part is the cut, part is in fill. So W is 40, H is the height, 2.6. This area in cut is 15.6 and area of fill. Now only thing that's differ is because in fill you have 30 feet wide and height is now 2 feet. So you will know this area and AC and AF. So for the last one, you will go this to coordinate method. Find the coordinate of this point. How? We start with this point. This is 0. So the first point is 0, 0. We have taken this point as 0, 0, right? And then the second point is 0 minus 15. The third point is 7.2 into 25.8. Now why it is 15? Because this 30. 30 divided by 2 is 15. So we say this point is x value is minus 15, y value is 0 because we are taking this as an origin. So this 0, 0. This point at of the width is 30. 30 is the total width. So 30 divided by 2 is 15. That's why this is 0 minus 15. And this is the extreme point minus 25.8 and 7.2. Now if I go to this point is this point. R1 is minus 8.8 minus 22 plus 8.8 and this becomes 20 minus 20 and then this point will be 7.0 and 14.7. Again this will be like this and this point is 8.0, right? And this is what to say, this point is 8.0. Actually what we have done, we have got some confusion over writing here. There's something problem here. Let me explain you once again. This is the peg. So the peg, it start with this point. Now this is, I think, the 0 and 8. I feel that this because they have taken origin at this point. So y is 0 here and y is 8 here. So this may be 0 and 8. This may be 0 minus 15 because x is taken. Let me see. Let me think once again. The first point is this. So this is 0. So x coordinate will be 0 and y coordinate will be 0 as well. Now here x coordinate is minus 15, y coordinate is 0. At this point, x coordinate is 25.8, y coordinate is 7.2. This is filled, that's why it's positive. At this point, x coordinate is minus 20 and the y coordinate is f positive 8.8. At this point, x coordinate is minus 14.7 and the f coordinate is 7. Again, this becomes positive. When I come to this point, now f coordinate is 8, so that's why positive 8, and the x coordinate is 0 because this is the center point. Center point is 0 here. Now if I come to this point R3, 8.1 positive plus 18 positive, R4 9.3 and 24, and then 9.4 and 29.1. So this is how, and whatever I said, we start with this point and we end this point. This becomes 0 and 15, right? Because this is the end of this section. This is positive side, and we say the derivation at this point is 0. And the last but not least, once you do this, now again, you can use this coordinate method that you have here, like this, either like this or either in the tabular form that we have done, and you know the area. So to summarize this, you have these areas. Now, once you know the areas, you can always find the volume. Volume is area into length. There are two ways in order to know the volumes: cross section, and this either using trapezoidal rule or the prismoidal formula. What is a trapezoidal rule? In trapezoidal rule, we add first and last area, and we add other areas multiplied by 2. This is the distance, equal distance between the two areas, and then divided by 2. So what we call the common distance. So this is the first section plus last section plus 2 sum of the other section. This is the computation of the volume using trapezoidal rule. The prismoidal volume is different. In the sense, this common distance divided by 3, first area and last area. Now, then 4 is the sum of the even areas and 2 is the sum of the odd areas. And prismoidal formula is more accurate than the trapezoidal formula, though easier to apply method is the trapezoidal method. Now we'll do some examples and you will understand. It's very basic to calculate the volumes of using these methods. Let's say an embankment of width 10 meter, side slope 1/2 is required to be made on a ground which is level in a direction transverse to the central line. The center line height at 20 meter is 0.8, 1.8, 2.25, 2.6, 1.89, 1.4, and 0.6. We have to calculate the volume according to trapezoidal and prismoidal formula. But this, first you have to calculate the areas. Then you will calculate the volume. Because this is not volume, these are the spot heights that has been given to you. So first, so what you do, you know this is a level section because it says ground is level along the transverse direction. The height width is 10 meter, S is 1.5, interval is 20 meter. So 20 meter will be used for calculating volume. So area is simply B plus SH into H. B is the width, S is the side slope, H is the height of the first thing, that was 0.8 here. Then you use 1.2 to 0.25. The height is varying along the sections. So only in this formula, only this value will change. And this becomes actually whatever is this value is this value. So 0.8, 0.8, 1.2, 1.2. So you find the areas of all the values along the height. You start with 0.8, 1.2, 2.25 like this. 1.2, 0.25, 2.6, 1.9, and 0.9. I have calculated these areas. Now, once the cross-sectional areas is known, then it's easy to calculate volume. How? This is the first area, this is last area, and then the common distance is, is 20 meter. The first area plus last area plus sum of all other areas. What are all the areas? From this 14, 30, 36, 24, 16.94, and then divided by what you will get the volume using trapezoidal method. It's very trivial. If once you know the formula, and you have to learn the formula. I'm sorry. And then this is a prismatic formula, first area and the last area, plus 4 times even areas. What I mean by even areas is that this is 2, 4, and 6. The odd areas are 3 and 5 because 7 you cannot consider 1 and 7 is already taken in the analysis. Also remember the areas are not repeated. Once it has been taken in that part, you will not take it repeatedly. Though these are odd, but they will not be counted. So for evens, 14.1, 4 times, if sum will be this plus this, and for odd, delta 3 and delta 5. So that's what I have done. 14.16, 36, 2 times the rest areas. The total areas 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. But we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So this is again the cross check. Now you can see that the area is 2612.2 by this method and this 2647 value. Larger value doesn't mean it's inaccurate. Actually, it is estimating more accurately. So if you have approximated that value with 2612 and this is more, so prismatic formula is more accurate. But again, I said it's more tedious. Sometimes you just forget what is odd or what is even. So anyhow, you must know how to know the volumes by using formulas. Nowadays we have software, so don't worry if you don't know them very exactly. This software is going to calculate for you, but this is a theory course. In the exam you have to use this formula to calculate. No software, I guess. Now here, this is a different type problem in which you have been given the areas. Now cross-sectional areas given. All you need to do is to just imply the formulas. How? D is 20. So first area plus this area, 38 plus 13, plus 2 times even, 4 times even, 62, 18, and 28, 2 times odd, 74, and 22. So that's what I've done. Right? Very easy. As easy as it could be. Now, different problem. Just a different type. Again, you have to use this prismatic formula. You know what is prismatic formula. But now the base is 24b and the side slope is 1.5. Now the problem is, now here you have been given in this formation. So first you have to calculate the area. Now this is 3-level section. You know how to calculate 3-level section. So this is A1, this is A2, and this is A3, right? Calculation area is very simple, you know by this time how you have got these values. Now, once you have done this, now the comma interval is between this thing is 100 feet, right? Actually, this is 50 feet. You can, if you are using that formula, don't use this formula, but instead you use this formula. D by 3. Now, D here is 50. A1 plus last area. So, this A1 and this, and 4 times 219, right? And this is in cubic feet. So, you have to do it, and you have to do it by, to convert cubic feet into cubic yard, you can always convert the volume. So you can always find the volume using this method, right? And if you can use the average end area method as well, in which you will say add to 115 to 36.2 plus 2 times 219 and multiply by 50 divided by 2. So you will get this volume as well. So don't get confused with the values. Just focus what you learn. In different books, we have different methodology, but the approach, if you to keep your approach simple, don't try to use more learn formulas. Just use the basic formula. Irrespective what you see, you will find the same answer. Another aspect of calculating the volume is to know uh, how much water is there in the reservoir, or how was it held, the capacity of the reservoir. This is another thing. There is, you have a water body and you want to know how much volume it occupies. Use this simple relations that I will explain you during this lecture. This we have done before in this last class, so just leave it now. So we have given this capacity, these contours. Obviously, you see the bottom is less and the outside is higher, so this is a water body. As the contrary, if you have inner higher, outer lower, then that's a mountain. So this is a water body or reservoir. So how you can calculate is very simple. The areas under the contour is given to you. The interval between the contour is also given to you. The capacity is fish road level is 125 meter. The volume may be ignored. So what we do? D is 5, as you can see the difference. And then you will have A1, A2, A3, A4, A5, and A6. So A1 and A5 plus 4 times A2 and A4 and 2 times A3. So we'll find this. The volume is in the reservoir is not taken as a cubic meter or cubic feet. It is in areas into depth. So it can be square meter, comma meter. Though we can say it is a cubic meter, but we won't say this. So similarly, actually what you do, the areas you get it in hectares and the depth you take in meter. So that's why hectometer. And the area of the trapezoid you can always find like this way. First area plus last area plus 2 sum of other section. You can use either of this form. At the same example, if you have given this area, now you have to calculate the volume. Simple. A1 plus this times plus 2 times 4 times 750 plus 350 and 2 times 2500. So volume is given to you, right? I'm going fast, but I understand that you just plug and play formula. It says the answer is already known to you. No we need of explaining these very trivial things, I feel. Again, if you got the problem, I can there in your live class. This is now, if you have been given this type of problem, now you know the distance, you know the cut area of chainage, this first cut and fill, you average this value, you will find, along the cut, the volume will be 82 plus 224 into 50, this will be the length area. And along the fill volume, this will be, we'll add this area plus this area divided by 2 multiplied by the length, as we have discussed in lecture 3 as well. So this is again very trivial. Average those values, average the sections, and multiply by the length between them. So that's 50. Again, the same problem with a different example. Now you have to calculate the area between 800 and 840. So in this problem, the only difference is you are going to ignore this 850. You can use the same formula. Last plus this plus 2 times the other average area method or Prismatel method, this plus 2 times and this 4 times. So this again is the continuation of what you have learned before. Similarly, like this, you have this contour givens and you have to find the values. Again, these are areas and this you know how to calculate. I'm giving you many examples because that will be useful. But again, they are very simple and very doable at the level you are in now. I feel that it's very easy. Now, this is a very important example. How to calculate volume using spot levels. For example, you have been given the plot of 25.5 meter and 30 meter, and you borrow some excavator and ask him that you need all the earth to be taken out from this ground, and the excavated level is that you say it's 10 meter. Actually, when you go to the people, as you say you want to hire an excavator, they will ask you how much of volume you need to be excavated, because the excavator comes with a truck. It doesn't that you borrow the excavator and you just forward the truck. There are some instances even where you have to have a place to put the material at some site, but there are places where you have to take this material because you don't have a space. So when you give him the volume that is to be excavated, he will also calculate the number of the trucks that is being required to carry that volume, that bulk or the chunk of the earth to somewhere else. So in this thing, before going to the contractor for excavator, first take the spot levels at the corner of the plot. So you use this method that you have say at each corner A to H I, you have taken the spot levels, and then you need to calculate the volume. So the first point is what you have to make this table. station A to I, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H. The reduced level, what is given, the level, the spot levels, that is, you have taken along at this point. So you have written like this. For instance, E is 12.95, you can see 12.59. B is 17.25. 13.38 is I. Though the volumes are higher, but you need to excavate only this up to meter. So at the end, this will be the depth that will remain. See, okay, so this is how. So 16.54, you have to excavate up till 10 level. So this column is the difference between these 2 points. 16.54 minus 10, 6.4, 15.55 minus 10. So this column is calculated. Now, another aspect. Since you are considering the volume, this point A is corner. So 6, if I calculate the area along this corner, A will come once. So I write 1. But B in all this figure will come twice. When I calculate this area and when I calculate this area. For this rectangle, this B is common for both of this. So this against B I will write 2. C is a corner point, so this I will write 1. Now, if I go to D, D is common in this rectangle and this angle, that's why 2. Now, E is common in 4 of the rectangle. This 1, 2, 3, 4, that's why 4. Then F, 1 and 2. G, only 1, that's why it's 1. H, 1 and 2. And I, only 1. So once you know the rectangles, once you know the depth, just multiply this point, but this point you will get this value, sum them off. So this will becomes the total height, and obviously this is a weighted average and number of rectangles 16. So will you know that the average height is 5.2 meter. Just sum this, divide it, and you will get 5.2. And since your area is 25.5 and 30, multiply this to this height, you will get the volume. Simple as that. This area is volume, but all you know to know in this type of chances is to know the average height. And once you know the average height, you can always find the area. That's very simple. And then area into length is volume. So this is a very common example whenever you go to the site as a civil engineer. You will, when you go to the site as a civil engineer, you will most often not, as a site supervisor, you have to calculate those volumes for your contractor, for your consultants, for anyone else. So this is very simple. Just to do it. And now I have another example. You can solve this way as well. So if you solve this way, the only difference is we have now instead of dividing into rectangles, we have divided into triangles. That's why A point is common in 2. B point is common in 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. E point is common is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I is common in 2. That's why this different. Again, it won't make much of the difference. The answer is 3955 here. There was 397, so it's a little bit accurate. But in the field, those square meters, cubic meters, 100 cubic meters, maybe 200 kilometers, that doesn't mean anything, right? So this is actually engineering. This is what we call estimation engineering. You cannot calculate exact value, especially during the earthwork. So this ends my topic on areas and volumes, and that is my lecture 4. You will have a quiz after this lecture. The syllabus is till point here. Prepare yourself. I will announce the date and you will have a quiz during the live session. Take care and Allah Hafiz.